I have played over 500 games of Akali ever since Wild Rift was released. So today I'm going to show you the most important things I've learned throughout my years of experience playing Akali. Don't believe me? Watch this. And those plays barely show the things that you can do with this champion. So, by the end of this video, you'll learn everything you need to know to play Akali at the highest level. First, you'll need to figure out how you want to play Akali. I personally use the AP Akali build because it deals a lot of damage and allows you to take down squishy enemies very easily. But you can build her however you want. Then, when you're ready to start, create a new build and start experimenting with it. The build is by far the most important part of Akali because for you to know what your Akali can do, you must know how you want to build her, so that you know what you can and can't do in different situations. This is especially important if you're just copying top player builds without knowing why they use specific items. Same idea applies for the runes. Just take a minute or two reading them and you'll understand what they provide. But as a general rule of thumb, I suggest using either Conquer or Electrocute and using these sub-runes. And please, don't forget to adjust your runes before the game starts. Once you're done with your build, you're gonna learn how each of her skills work. I find this part easy to explain because unlike any other champion, Akali was released at a time where League was actually simple. Her skills are so easy to understand that it separates her from any other champion that has every single ability feel like a science fair project, making her a perfect example of a champion that's easy to learn but hard to master. To prove my point, let me show you how her kit works. Her passive creates a ring around her enemies after damaging them with her ability. Every time you walk out of the ring, you get an enhanced auto attack. Her first ability is a shotgun blast of kunai that makes up 80% of her burst. It has a relatively low cooldown, so you're going to be spamming this ability throughout all your games. Akali's second ability is a shrouded area that grants her a full area to be invisible. Not only that she becomes untargetable, but it also grants her movement speed. What sucks is that it got nerfed, so it doesn't grant her invisibility under an enemy target anymore. Alright, I almost forgot. It also restores her energy. Akali's third ability is a projectile that marks enemies. It doesn't deal a gigantic amount of damage, but that mark allows her to dash to her target and deliver the hands regardless of the distance. Using Akali's third ability also shoots her backwards a bit, which can be useful for an escape or just to do little hop over walls. Akali's ultimate is a dash to a target area which can be used twice in quick succession. The first one deals a chunk of physical damage and also has ridiculous base damage, whilst the second one deals a bigger chunk of ability damage, is an execute, and deals magic damage. So why does the first one deal physical damage and the second one deal magic damage? It's almost as if they don't want you to build against her. Give her an amp tome and she scales. Give her a longsword and she scales. Give her a brick wall, some Elmer's glue, and a half bucket of KFC original fried chicken, and she'll still scale. All jokes aside, once you understand how her abilities work, you should be able to do these things. Which brings me to the next point of this video. Combos. Aside from a good understanding of how her skills work, combos are the most important part of the learning process. Good combos can set you up for a lot of success in all of your games, while bad combos, well, it's like purposely using troll builds. It's my favorite part. What? It's up to you as the Akali player not only to carry your team from early to late game, but also to help them clean the enemy backlines. Now this tip, whilst mainly being for Akali players, could also be used across any kind of assassin in Wild Rift. So I encourage you, keep diving. Please kill the enemy ADC. The best way for me to teach you this is to probably play Akali in any game mode. Honestly, you can take your pick. They're all gonna have this problem, which is skill-ish. Let's just go with that one. Yeah, that one right there. Do you see that? That small mistake of not practicing my combos? That was my idea of a warm-up and practice. point here that I'm trying to make is that if I can do it, an idiot, a guy who finds shoulder builds funny can make it, then you absolutely can too. It just takes time. Combo time. The first combo you need to learn is Akali's basic combo. To do this, you need to use Akali's first skill at max range to proc her passive and instantly auto attack. I suggest practicing this combo first because you'll be spamming it for most of the time. You can even add Akali's second ability there just to get that stealth and some energy back. The next combo is what you're going to be using to tower dive enemies. It varies from different situations, but as a general rule of thumb, you want to make sure to land your third ability so you can recast it and dash out using Akali's ult. And if you didn't know, this works because the second phase of Akali's ult has a decent hitbox behind her, so you don't have to always dash through your opponents to execute them. But instead, you can often dash away to safety while killing them at the same time. And yes, combining these combos with Flash does work. But using Flash with the second phase of Akali's ult has a high chance of failing due to how quick the animation is. And unlike the PC version of Akali, you can use Akali's third ability in her Shroud. You can use your third ability and Flash instantly to extend its range. This also includes the first phase of Akali's ult and Akali's first skill. Mix all those combos up and you can pull off some insane plays like this. Now here's where I actually get to give you guys some advice. So here's what you want to do. While using your normal combos, you can use first skill to add more damage to them. This cancels the animation, which allows you to take down your opponents much faster before they can react to it. Another thing you need to do is to keep your wave to your side of the lane, because keeping the wave on your side of the lane gives you way more time to chase down and kill your opponent before they get the safety of the tower. As far as teamfight goes, Akali has so much mobility that reaching enemy carries should be a breeze. You're playing an assassin, so killing squishy targets is your main goal in fights. Another thing that most Akali players don't know is to just sit in their Shroud. Never underestimate the value you get by just sitting in stealth in the middle of the enemy team. This forces your opponents to respect you, which gives your team the time to catch up and reinforce your play. I know it sounds useless, but trust me, sitting there is honestly one of the best ways Akali can contribute to team fights. And of course, once you see an opportunity, you dash in and annihilate someone. Alright guys, as promised, I have taught you everything you need to know to play Akali. So if you learned something new today, please consider dropping a like and subscribing to the channel. It's free and you can always change your mind. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next one.